we're going to talk a little bit more about how derivatives affect the shape of a graph. But in reverse, rather than a function that we are turning into a picture, we're going to turn in some qualities of a graph into a picture of the graph. So let's begin. F of 2 equals f of 4 equals 0. So that means we know that at 2 and at 4, the y value is 0. And we've taken care of that comment. F of 3 is defined. All that tells us is there is a point at 3. We'll come back to it. Now, I like to make a number line for my f of x and my f double prime of x when we're given information on those things. So this next line says f prime of x is negative if x is less than 3. So we've taken care of that so far. F prime of 3 is undefined. We need to keep that in mind. It kind of pairs with this. Think about what could be happening on a graph if there's a point, but there's no derivative. So they tell us on this second to last one, f prime of x is greater than 0 if x is greater than 3, so it's positive here. And then they tell us that f double prime is less than 0 if x is not equal to 3, which means here it's decreasing, here it's increasing. Down here we know it's concave down and concave down. So let's talk about what could be happening. To the left of 3, we know that it's decreasing. We know it crosses the x-axis at 2, and that is concave down. So it could look something like that. To the right of 3, we know it's increasing. We know that it's concave down. And we know that there's a point at 3, but there's no derivative. So at 3, we have a couple of options. It could come to a corner. It could jump. It could do a lot of things. So I'm going to draw one option. Could look something like this. Decreasing, concave down. Point at 3, but no derivative at 3. And then increasing, also concave down. So that's one option. It could also look a little different. This side might look, similar, but it could do a jump to have a point but not have a derivative. That sort of thing. When I grade these, you don't have to have the exact same graph that I have. You just have to have a graph that meets all the provided criteria. So it's okay if it doesn't look identical to mine or a person around you. So on this next one, I want you to stop the video, give it a try. We'll talk about what that graph should look like tomorrow.